Okay, everybody, so we're going to be talking about everything phonetics. Okay, so the different sounds that each letter makes. And I'm going to be demonstrating how to decode, break down each of the sounds in each of our sight words. So remember, each sound is a letter. Each letter represents a sound. So I'm going to be demonstrating that using all of our sight words. Okay. You have a list of your sight words on your desk, so make sure you follow along with each word as I'm doing them on the board. So yeah, let's get started. Our first word is going to be mat, so we're going to have 3 lines here. Okay, so we have mat, as in I stepped on the mat. Okay, so the first sound is What letter could that be? It's an M. Okay, so we have and then Remember, all of our sight words have the letter A in the word. Okay, so we have it's A. Okay, and we have t, which would be a T. Okay, so we have t, mat. Okay, let's do that one more time. Mat. Okay. Okay, I'm going to erase this and go ahead and go on to the next one. We have our 3 lines. Once again. Okay, we have 3 lines. Hopefully they're visible. Okay, so our next sight word is going to be map, as in I looked at the map. Okay, so the first letter again is what sound is It's the letter M. Okay, we have M here. I'm going to change markers because there we go, much better. Okay, we have the letter M. Then we have again, the letter A. So we have p. Make sure you put your hand in front of your mouth. P. What sound is that? P. It's the letter P. Okay, so we have p. Map. One more time. P. Map. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're moving on to the letter S. So the 2 sight words with the letter S. We have sat, as in I sat on the chair. So we have what sound? What letter represents that sound? We have S. Okay. Then we have again, which is the letter A. And then t. Remember, it's not t. We're not doing t. We're doing t. Okay, so it's the letter T. So we have sat. Sat. One more time. Sat. Let's move on to the next word. Remember, we're breaking down. We're talking about phonological awareness. We're breaking down each sound, which is represented by a letter, in order to put all the sounds together in order to say the word. Okay, our next word is sad, as in I'm feeling sad today. Okay, so we have the letter S again. So letter A, d. Remember, it's not duh. We're not saying duh. We're saying d. So stop your sound. We have the letter D. So we have d. Sad. One more time. Sad. Okay, we're going to move on to the only sight word that starts with a T. We're going to do that. Okay, so we have tap, as in I'm going to tap on the door. Okay, so we have tap, so t. That's going to be the letter T. And then there's the again. A, T, P, P. What letter is that? It's going to be P. So we have tap. T, P, tap. Do it with me. T, P, tap. Okay, we have 2 more words, and then I'm going to explain the activities that we're going to be doing in groups, okay? Pay attention to these next 2 words. We've got pan, pan as in I cook with a pan, okay? So we have p, p. Remember, it's not p. You want to put your hand in front of your mouth to stop the sound. P, p, okay? So we have p, and there's that and sound. A, p, and p, and pan, p, and pan. Okay, we have 1 more word. One more. Okay, we have pat. Let me see, maybe make sure. Pat. I was right. Pat, as in I pat the dog. I pat Jimmy, whoever. Okay, so we have pat. So p, p. That's the letter P again. There's the letter A again. And then t, t, which is T. So we have p, t, pat. Do it with me. P, t, pat. Okay. We're going to move on to the next activity. I'm going to erase this. All right. So there's going to be 3 separate groups. Okay. One group is going to be in the reading corner. You're going to pick a book and you're going to read silently. The second group is going to be at your desk, okay, working on a worksheet that I will explain in a minute. The third group will be with me at my small group table, working on the activity that I'm about to explain, okay? Each group will come to me today, okay, but I'm just explaining how this is going to kind of go. We're going to do stations, okay? So at my table, this is what we're doing at my table. This is what we're going to be doing. We have a sheet of paper. I have papers with these 3 blocks on the pieces of paper. You're going to have tiles. You're going to have 3 different colored tiles. So we have blue, green, we'll do purple. Okay, so they're different color tiles, okay? Okay, so each tile is going to represent a letter from one of our sight words. And remember, each letter represents a sound, so each tile is going to represent its own sound, okay? So say we're using the word pat, okay? So this tile will be represented as the letter P. This one will be represented as the letter A. And then this one will be represented as the letter T. So we have pat, okay? So we're going to start out by splitting up the sounds, okay? So as we're saying the P sound, as we say P, we're going to move the tile, the P tile, the P tile, to this block. So we say P, move the tile. Then we say ah. As we're saying ah, we move the tile to this block. As we say T, we move the tile to this block. Okay? After we move all the tiles into the blocks, you're going to then split up the sounds one more time and say P, ah, T. Then you're going to slide your finger and say it all at once. Pat. Okay? We're going to do these to maybe 2 or 3 sight words for each group when you're with me. Okay? So we won't get to all the sight words, but we're going to do a couple of them. Okay? Now, the next group. So that activity was for whoever's going to be with me first. Okay? This off here. Okay, the next group, you're going to have a worksheet, okay? And you're going to trace the letters of the different, you're going to trace the different letters that we learned this week. Remember, A, M, S, T, all the letters, okay? And then you're going to associate the letters with different animals, whichever animal starts with that letter, okay? It's just a little fun activity to get you more familiar with the letters and actually writing pen to paper the letters down, okay? So, like I said, that's the activity you're going to be doing at your desks. One group's going to be in the reading corner, one group is going to be at their desk, and then the other group is going to be at my small group table working on the blocking, okay?